Hello everyone. Welcome to Digital Marketing Gyan, the podcast where we keep on sharing some of the informative tools, techniques, case studies, and latest updates in digital marketing domain. I am your host Prince Kumar, and we have Ankit Raj Bachchan with us today. Ankit is currently working as the Senior Manager, Brand Planner for Radio Mirchi and has previously worked as the Brand Manager for the Viral Fever, popularly known as TVF, marketing some of the popular web series. He has also worked with multiple brands like Cred, Logitech, Scoop, and many others, including taking care of sponsored content for Chennai Super Kings in IPL 2020. Hi Ankit, welcome to our show.
Hey, hello, hi Prince. Hi.
Ankit, can you share about your corporate journey so far?
I would like to mention that I had prior experience of freelancing and publishing a book and having my own website and all of that. So I was not a fresher when I started my corporate journey. I started my corporate journey maybe 2015, but I had been when I was must be in 12th or 13th. When I had started, I had my own Facebook pages. I was writing a book. Then I switched to writing short stories. I won a national competition there. I was also freelancing for a lot of these websites that were coming up with the content boom in India, digital content boom in India, all of that. And I quit that because I was like, oh shit, there's an stagnancy there. So I started to look out for places where I can join and all. That there was this place in Gurgaon, which was basically a startup, not a corporate basically. Obviously, very chill vibe scene tha. And this place was called Blue Gape Lifestyle. And while I joined there as senior associate for creative content there, I was quickly promoted to the content manager there. So I had a team of these bunch of writers who I used to guide what to write, what not to write, how to write, when to write. All of that. So I was doing that. So that was my first brush with corporate in a setting where there are more and more people involved. There are probably more than 100 people working towards the single aim. Okay, single goal. I switched to Mumbai and I came to a place called Culture Machine. Culture Machine was basically again it was a content organization and it was basically the parent company for something called Being Indian, one of the first few very viral YouTube channels in India. It was the YouTube channel that had brought the culture of box pop videos in the country and was doing it immensely well. And this company wanted to start their content website of their own, okay, under the same brand. So I was appointed traffic acquisition lead there, and I was also creating content for them. So that was again, and as a traffic acquisition lead, I used to work on getting performance marketing. Basically, my idea and my aim was to get more and more people on the website using all performance marketing techniques and every creative ways that I knew of. So that was there. Then I joined a company called WittyFeed, which was by the end of 2017, and I had joined there as social media analyst there. Quickly rose to being a social media head there within a couple of months or so, I guess. And then I was appointed as the editor-in-chief for the place, and I was looking after all the content, like from producing videos to taking care of all the taking care of the editorial part of their website, also looking after their social media and performance marketing and a lot of other stuff, also some of the branded content and the strategy around it. So that was my role there as an editor-in-chief for WittyFeed. Then I came back to Mumbai. This WittyFeed, this place was in a city called Indore. Okay, this was a tier 2 city, but very competitive place, and I really loved it. But then I jumped back to Mumbai and joined TVF. TVF, as we all know, the Viral Fever and probably web series producer in the country. So I had been a fan of their shows. I had always been a fan of their shows, from Permanent Roommates to Pictures to Tripling and a lot more. So I joined there as the brand manager there. And there my job will included being strategizing for the content that has to go out via the channels and also their social media. So I was looking after their social media and was part of all the content that was going out, their production and all of that. I was engaged with them, but not exactly working with them because they were a much more talented pool of people, to be very frank. Okay. So So I was doing that, and then also I went on to produce some of their videos. Then I went on to create some of the IPs there. Went on to create some new faces for their organization. So I did all of that, and then I have switched back to Radio Mirchi as the brand manager for them, and that has been good. That has been a journey which can be summed up about trying each and every role or responsibilities that is there out there in digital content production. So that has been the journey. Either it is about writing articles or producing video content, or about marketing video content, about trying different platforms, or it could be about trying different kinds of formats in different social media platforms. So I have been doing all of that, and maybe a lot more, or maybe a bit less. But yeah, that has been the overall journey so far. Fruitful 6 years, I guess. Yeah.
That's an amazing journey that you have. So you mentioned that with the type of clients you have worked upon, what percentage of social media communications are pre-planned and what percentage are planned based on the user response?
Let me tell you that we cannot give a definite number to this. This is a very approximation that we play with. Okay, but to give it a number, what I can say is that probably 3/4 of it is planned, and it is planned based on the kinds of events that are coming up. Be it Friendship Day that is today, be it the next week, this next 4-5 days, we'll be talking about salary and the kind of expenditures that you're doing. Next, then it would be about. I mean, if we are talking about this August only, then we would be talking about this sense of freedom and nationalism in the country, because we are getting closer to Independence Day again on 15th. Then there would be other days. So the idea is that we obviously plan, because these are definite days that we know of. In fact, we also know of when there will be Ganesh Chaturthi in September, maybe Diwali, maybe some other festival in the coming months. So obviously we pre-plan accordingly. We also pre-plan things according to the days that are coming out, according to the sensibility of the country these days. So we do try to pre-plan our majority of our content, which is close to, I mean, I could say that if we have to probably push 4 content in a day, we would be planning for at least 3 content in advance. Okay, so that goes that we are in days in advance with that. But then we also keep a window open for all the unplanned content. The job for the day is to look out for all the opportunities for moment marketing, to look out for all the opportunities to follow a trend, to encash a trend. So we keep looking for that. We try to encash most of them. So that is a distribution here. Majorly, you have to pre-plan things, but then also you have to keep a window. So that, and also be motivated enough to keep looking for trends, to keep discussing, okay, is this a trend, is this not a trend, is this a trend that we can go ahead with? So we keep a room open for that session as well. So that is how we work.
So what is user generated content in your
user generated content? Well, honestly, if I be very honest and blunt, it is all about validation and relevancy maybe. But it is about getting validated, that when a brand posts something that is about engaging with users, that has been posted in a manner, that has been put out in a manner that it is an attempt to get maximum engagement from audience with their inputs. So it is about validation. Okay, am I relevant enough? That is one. And when your user or your audience is engaging with that is, they are looking out for validation, that okay, am I funny enough, am I thought provoking enough? So that is it is all about. It is about we want to be validated that okay, are we relevant enough in the eyes of the user? Okay, and then the user is putting out their comments and trying to engage with us in different formats and trying to seek validation from us. So I believe UGC content is nothing but an exchange of validation, obviously keeping relevancy alive. So that is how I see it.
UGC or the user generated content should, while planning for monthly or whether it might be the quarterly social media plan?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, it is basically a must. It's not that whether it should be given important or not. It should be given important. It is an obvious answer, basically. I mean, what happens is, when you keep a room open for that, when you're also actively looking out for that. I mean, I can say that when I'm strategizing stuff, I keep a window, not just keep a window open, but I also place someone whose job role, whose responsibility, or even mine, I mean, the team's responsibility is to keep looking out for everything that is going on. And why is that? Why is it important? It is important because it makes us a part of a culture. It makes us a part of the wave that is going on in the country, or in terms of how people are speaking, in terms of lingo, in terms of the songs that they are dancing to, or the songs that they are sharing. So yes, to be a part of the culture, to be a part of the youth, not just youth, to make them feel that, okay, this brand speaks my language. You have to be part of the trends that these guys are following, that your audience is following. So that is why it is very important. It is a must, not just important, it is a must for sure. And obviously, there's also another part to it, that we also obviously try to at times start a trend by ourselves as well. We also try keeping a window open for that, but that is not obviously a success all the time. So yeah, obviously to be pushed by the algorithms as well, it makes logical sense to be open to accepting trends. So yeah.
So can you give examples where, based on user response, you planned any communication and that campaign result?
Oh, I have a great case study for you. Okay, so I remember this was 2018. Okay, I'm giving a case study from 2018, and this was while I was with WittyFeed. And it's not something that I executed individually with quite a team, but I'll tell you, I was obviously in the team. So let me give you an example that we were in those days, we were talking a lot about adulting in those days. Okay, adulting and all the issues that we have in life, and how to tackle that, and how to laugh about it. So that was the whole idea. We were talking a lot about adulting for a couple of months now, and we saw that there was a great engagement for the audience, where they were ranting about stuff and maybe crying about their exes and all of that. It was a great interaction with the audience. So we thought of, why not build up, why not just name this a property, create this an IP, and just call it Bhasar. So we launched something which was nothing but a social media post that was put out every week. Okay, it was called Bhasar, and that is how we started putting it out. And we used to ask questions. People used to engage with them. We used to ask them, okay, did you drink enough water? But or something like this. We used to engage with them about their life, about their exercise, about all the struggles that they have, and basically try making a joke about it and being chill with it, basically. Okay, so this was our chill zone. This was our launch post. That, okay, that is how you chill in a launch, and that is how friends talk. So that was the IP Bhasar for us. But with time, the engagement rate was so high for the next couple of months that we also thought of, why not turn it into a bigger property. And Bhasar, that was originated obviously from the user response, and that was something that was pushed out every night. We transformed it into a platform for stand-up comedy, and we did a couple of shows called Bhasar, where people came and ranted about life. Okay, and one of the stand-up comics who went on to go viral was called Anubhav Singh Bassi. So Bassi was also a part of Bhasar as well, and other famous stand-up comics became a part of Bhasar, who used to come and rant about their life and make fun about it. And that, like I said, that was our lounge room, that was our chill zone. So that is how Bhasar became popular, became a stand-up platform, and it was also getting sponsored as well. It was being sponsored by brands. So that is how one small trend talking about adulting, the issues of adulting and laughing about it, became Bhasar, and then Bhasar became a platform for users, and which got great response from brands as well. So that was Bhasar, which was the highlight of 2018 for us. And then then I can give you another case study. At WittyFeed, we had a social media page, a social media handle, which was called Inner Voice, and it was completely user generated. People used to send out their quotes and their feelings, and we used to put that out. Okay, so that was Unheard. That was Inner Voice. And with time, we had started an IP called Unheard, and this Unheard was a platform for people. It was a platform to give people a stage to put out their poetry work. So people used to come and do their poetry. And we must have done at least 20 cities tour with Unheard. Okay, so this was 2018 and the beginning of 2019 as well, and I believe it still continues. I'm no more a part of the organization, but it still continues, and it is called Stage at the moment. And Stage is a very popular app in today's time. and it is all user generated. While it started on social media, it got a platform for poetry, and these poetry have been shared by the likes of Javed Akhtar, Farhan Akhtar, and a lot of other IAS, IPS, and a lot of other celebrities. I mean, I maybe Kiran Bedi as well. Sorry, I'm forgetting the names, but it was a great rage in the country. Basically, we used to get millions of views over there with their slam poetry, with the kind of proposals that people used to do. So it was a great property there. Then there was something that we also did at TVF. I mean, I wanted to try replicating this thing with TVF, and we did something called TVF Night Out, which was initially called Neend Nahi Aati. And this night out was again started on social media. The idea was, we knew that okay, we would start something that will have a lot of users engagement. The idea was to get a lot of user engagement, and if it grows, we will use this IP name and transform it to something like. It was called TVF Night Out, which went out to become a series of videos for TVF, and again obviously get sponsors. So yeah, so the idea is that if you create something that has relevance in today's time, you can try and keep transforming it. So these have been the case studies, and we have also been trying to do something similar at Radio Mirchi. So hopefully I can share that case study in a couple of years from now.
Great. No, definitely the case study were really interesting, and that has shown that the importance of user-generated content has been previously also and will also be in the future.
Yeah, because you know what? Because when users are are engaged with particular content, the IP name is very much relevant to them. Be it Bhasar, so they know what Bhasar is. Obviously, Bhasar was nothing but just a Facebook post. But since this name stuck with them, they gave a great response to the stand-up comedy platform as well. Same with Anerd, that their audience also came for our shows, our live shows. And the response was in multiple cities, from Gurgaon to Noida to more probably Bhopal and a lot of other cities. So we did that as well. So relevancy agar ban jati hai saath mein na, and since it is powered by the users only, it has a very longer shelf life.
Definitely. So you have done a lot of things. Now, for a fresher, or let's say for a social media market, not explode this, what is the guidance or what is the strategy, the social media plan that you would suggest, that how they can start hunting these type of campaigns for their brands?
Okay. So let me start by telling you that this is very lucrative. I mean, every time you see a handle called Mad Over Marketing covering a brand that followed the trend and got viral, it is very lucrative for all the brand managers out there. It is very lucrative for any account manager handling a brand, right? They do get excited that, okay, shit, I will try this. I will try the next trend that comes. But to begin with, what you really need to, even every fresher must know that what their brand guidelines are. Before jumping for any of it, you need to know what your brand guidelines is. What is your tonality? What are the do's? What are the don'ts? What is the gray area that you may or may not go in? What are the black areas that you should never step in? So you need to know your brand guidelines first. Okay. Like I can give you an example. There was a very viral meme in 2017, which was about a drug addict. There was this small guy who used to say about चरस पीता हूँ, गांजा पीता हूँ, और उस पे गाने वाने सारे कुछ बने थे. Okay, this was 2017 में लड़के का नाम Kamlesh was the small kid who was talking about this, and a brand had covered this video, and then it realized that okay, after a couple of days they realized that okay, they stand against drug abuse and drugs to children, so they had to take down their post, and it was a really shameful event for them. I know the example because this was my friend who had done this and later regretted it. But even if it was a trend and it was a viral meme that time, maybe not all brands need to cover it, because it was promoting drugs in some manner, or maybe making fun of it, people who are abused by drugs, right? So the idea is that before jumping into it, you really need to know your brand guidelines and your brand's voice. That is how you begin. Okay. But then once you're clear with that, once you know that okay, how to go about it, then you obviously need to be in the lookout of it. You can be following some of the great subreddits. I mean, while people say that there are songs that go viral on not TikTok, I mean Instagram today, or while there are meme formats that go viral on Instagram, what actually happens is now, what actually happens is that before this particular song goes viral on Instagram, it is basically viral on TikTok for sure. If it is an international song, even the transition steps are mostly derived from TikTok only. And how do I know this? I mean, last month I was in Russia. Okay, I was there. I was in Russia. I was basically in a place called Sochi, which is probably Russia's Goa, you can say so, because I was staying beach side. Okay, and I could hear that people were using TikTok, and I could hear that, okay, I heard one song and I was like, oh, even I hear this song in India. It was an international song. And then the next song, I was like, hey, even I can hear, I know this song. And there was third. And then I realized, oh shit, they have the same trends that we have in India. While we have banned TikTok, so we have it on Reels, they have it on TikTok. So I realized that, okay, most of the songs that go viral internationally first go viral on TikTok. And same is the case with all the meme templates that go viral, that they basically originate from Reddit only. Reddit is an awesome place. It is probably still the most relevant community out there. So be in the lookout for Reddit, and obviously be in the lookout for brands that push out moment marketing things, so that you know, okay, what is the latest meme template? What is the latest buzzword that people are talking about? So that is how you start, by being protective about what not to do, and then go about which ones to pick. कौन सा ट्रेंड चल रहा है जिसको मैं पिक कर सकूं. Obviously you can start by also, since these are your first few steps, you can be discussing this within your team as well. So what you can need to do is to discuss it with these 3-4 people that you have in your team and see their response and then go about it. But yes, it is very exciting. It is also very rewarding. When it goes viral, it is very satisfying feeling.
Definitely, every brand want to go or want their campaign to go viral one or the another day. So definitely one should try kind of utilizing this kind of content, and definitely if the luck favors them, then definitely the content will or might get viral.
Obviously, I mean it does get pushed for sure.
So user generated, when we say content, it's a kind of, what I say, it's a kind of campaign or a platform which need to be measured or which need to be worked upon very leniently, or we need to ensure that there are no miss out there, because even a single mistake can cause a great loss to the brand.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, just to sum it up, basically before starting, I can explain this in a very single sentence, which is that it is fine if you miss a couple of templates or a couple of trends, but it may not be fine if you make a couple of mistakes. Obviously, to make mistakes is human, but the idea is not to make them, right? So the idea is that whenever you see a trend or a template, you just need to be in a lot of hurry. What you really need to see is that, okay, am I following the brand guidelines? Am I taking approvals from the concerned person to see their perspective? Because at times we stop seeing the gray areas, right? We get blind spots that, okay, this is not a mistake, but at times there are spelling mistakes as well, something as common as a spelling mistake, right? So the limitations, so to speak, is about, are you taking timely approvals? Are you ensuring that you are giving proper credit? Are you ensuring that the content that you are putting out has not been subconsciously copied from somewhere? Because people will call you out. So since we have a very small time limit to execute this, we have to be very cautious as well. It is fine that you miss a couple of them, but you cannot be overruling approvals, you cannot be overruling credits, you cannot be overruling copying stuff. So obviously these are the limitations that this is obviously a double sword thing, right? So definitely. Yeah,
these are the points which one should take care while they are planning with this type of content.
Yeah, obviously.
You have previously worked with TVF, which is immensely popular for their content.
Yeah.
Can you share your experience of working on any one of their campaigns?
So I'll give you an example of something that happened just before the pandemic hit us, right? So we had a series coming up called Awkward Conversation with Girlfriend. Okay, and this was a 5-episode series that was going on the Screen Patti. The Screen Patti is a subsidiary channel of TVF only. Okay, and I was a brand manager for the same channel as well. I mean, I was handling a couple of channels there. Okay, so we were coming out with this show which was called Awkward Conversation, and this was something that we knew the story beforehand. Okay, so what happened is before even once the script is locked, we do get a narration. We do get, okay, what is the tonality and all of that. We also do get a timeline. Okay, this is the time when it is being recorded. This is the time when we are planning to release it. So we get a timeline of that. We get to know the story. So we start brainstorming on things. So there are two types of brainstorming. 2-3 types. You can go about exploring title first. Okay, this particular title is called Awkward Conversation. So what are the types of awkward conversations that we have generally in life? So we explored that. Then we go on to the story. Okay, what are the instances that we can go and talk about before the show begins or releases? So we try doing that. We try seeing what are the social media activities of the actors involved. So that, because any show needs to be very personalized in terms of their promotions, right? So we try doing that. So that is what happens even before a teaser is pushed out. Okay, but my idea was to not just be very active in social media with this, but we also wanted to create cross promotion buzz with it on social media. We do not want it just to be promoted by the likes of TVF or the internal actors, but we also wanted other platforms to talk about it. So how do we do that? So the idea was to not just use our handle, but use other handles and other platforms. So we started with something called Comic-Con. Comic-Con India was on, I think, December end, which was in Mumbai. So we launched our trailer at the Comic-Con Mumbai. Okay, so we did that. After a couple of in fact, this trailer was launched a couple of weeks before it went online. So we did a small premiere there. We generated some buzz. Comic-Con India spoke about it. People shared it. People who were part of at the live event, they made stories about it. They said that, okay, they were using the hashtag. So we started with that. They were talking about the actors and all of that. So these actors were reposting, saying that, okay, we have a show coming up, but you cannot see the trailer because you were not at the Comic-Con, and Comic-Con was promoting it. So we started with that. Then we went out via promoting it, and obviously then we started speaking about what are the awkward conversations in our life, what are the awkward conversations in this particular character's life. So this character was called Ishant. So we explored that. What is his life journey? Then we also went on to explore the actor's life and what could be the awkward conversations with him. What are the awkward events that this character may have gone through? So we started promoting that on social media. Then we also wanted to, since we, like I told you, that we wanted to personalize it, we also spoke about the awkward conversations that these actors have. So we had Ritvik and Rasmi as our lead pair. Rasmi Agrikar. So we shot some videos with that. They promoted it on their social media handles. They were also promoted by their friends because our idea, like I said, our idea was to use maximum platforms and handles that could be a part of it, right? So we used their friends' handles as well because these guys were talking about their friends, so they promoted it. Then we also created a UGC campaign around it where people were talking about their awkward conversations and their awkward moments. So we did that. Then we also went on to tour of a few prestigious colleges in the country, which included the likes of IIT Indore, and we were at DTU, Delhi Technical University. We were also at Narsi Munji in Mumbai. We were also at a couple of colleges in Mumbai. Then we also went out in probably, I guess, IIT Guwahati as well. We were there as well. So yeah, we toured these colleges, and the idea was, since these were the times of festival, which was in January and February, so they were having their festivals, right? They had their fest. We were also part of Mood Indigo in IIT Bombay as well. So and what happened? It's not just that you go out there and you have an audience of 500 people. These 500 people are promoting their show because they are getting a chance to meet the actors and interact with them. So they are promoting that. The IIT Bombay handle is promoting it. The Mood Indigo handle is promoting it, and likewise for other colleges that we went out to, right? So 500 लोगों ने story share करी है. उसके colleges ने करी जिसके हजारों followers हैं. ठीक है? They have these thousands of followers. These colleges have thousands of followers. These 500 people are promoting it, and we are doing this with every other people. So, and obviously it is being pushed out. It is being pushed out by the channel's handle, right? That is how we created a full environment of this buzz, and that is how it was a great success. That is how it went on to clock close to 30-40 million views within a month. So we did that.
Amazing.
So yeah, in fact I can tell you that what happened when they create, and since we were a part of their fest, so when they create an after movie so they gave a place to us as well, and they also promoted us again. They were like, okay, these guys from this particular show came to our fest, and it was a great success. So we got a shout out there as well. So that was the whole idea. It was not about just generating, obviously, UGC, but UGC at a level where platforms are getting bigger, handles are getting involved. So again, it was about user engagement again.
Definitely. So it was not only restricted to online, but then again, it was a mix of online and offline activities, and which took mileage on the social media where brands were putting voice on the topic or about the episode.
Yeah, I mean offline events again to engage them online.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This was very informative discussion and the campaign that you told about.
Yeah.
Now, lastly, any advice for brands on why they should be focusing on this user-generated content along with the regular communication that they generally go with?
Okay. Let me speak the language of the brands and will tell you that okay, you will get better leads. That's it. And that is one, and that is obviously a topmost priority for any account manager out there, right? So obviously you will push out by the algorithms, you will get better reach. And why will you get better reach? Now let me explain that, the abstract part of it. That because it is something that people are very enthusiastic about. So they have a higher possibility of being engaged with this particular sort of content, right? Where they are being asked to give out their opinion or what their jokes are or what they think of a particular topic. So that is one. It also creates more and more brand affinity that they since they get recognized by the brand, they feel that okay, this brand is my brand. This is a very personal brand. This is a very individual brand. This brand's voice is similar to mine. And that is what makes you more and more relevant. So relevancy is the currency, right? Everyone wants to be relevant. No one wants to be out of the park. Everyone wants to be in trend, and then that is when you are very relevant, you can start your own trends as well, right? So this is why it is important. Obviously, you will get better social media reach. You will also get more and more affinity from your audience and your users, and then you will be in a position that where you can start your own trends. So this is a sure shot winning formula. Obviously, not just a formula. It will be demeaning to call it a formula, but this is a strategy that has to be implemented. That is very much required. And if you are not using it, you are just losing out on something that could have been executed easily. So obviously, do not miss it out.
Definitely. Thank you for your valuable advice.
Yeah.
So with this, we have come to the end of today's episode. Thank you, Ankit, for taking out your time and sharing some of the best tips on how one can leverage their online marketing efforts with the user-generated content. It was a pleasure having you on our show and looking forward to host you again.
Yeah, I mean, the pleasure is all mine.